Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Diesel Build Garage. Today I'm going to be talking through installing later model mirrors on a 2008 GMC Sierra. So the mirrors I got, they're Amazon special, whoop-de-doo, and they're for the 15 to 17 or 18 style or body style trucks. Anyway, so I've already actually put them on because there's some patient and stuff, but today I'm going to go through how to put them on and everything else like that. And I'm also going to go through the wiring, so let's get into it. So here's the truck in question. These are the style mirrors I was talking about. Now they are installed, but they're not completely done. I actually haven't wired in these lights, these clearance backup lights, whatever the hell you want to call them. So we're gonna get to that today. What you're gonna need for the install. So you have your pocket knife on the very far left. You can also substitute that for a flathead screwdriver if needed. And then you also have a ratchet with a 10mm socket. I have a deep socket, but you can also use a shallow socket with an extension if you need to. And then I also have the wiring harnesses here for both sides of the mirrors. A pair of wire strippers. These are brand new, clearly because I haven't opened them yet. And you're also gonna have to go out and get one of these fuse taps. You can get these at your local auto parts store. I got mine from Canadian Tire because I was in town running some errands anyways, and I figured, well, I need it. And also an assortment of electrical connectors. You're really gonna need one eyelet and 2 butt connectors. And the flavor of choices today is lucky, because, well, I'm feeling lucky. Alright, let's get started. So the first thing you're going to need is your screwdriver, or in my case, a pocket knife. And the first thing you want to do is you want to pop off this trim piece right here on the door card. And there's a little indent. I don't know if you can see that right there in the camera, but there's a little indent. So you put your screwdriver in there and you pop that out, and it'll all come up as per. And then you also have to pop off 2 more bits. There is a piece right here you got to pop off. This one right here you pop off right at the bottom. And then this bit. So this one you have to take a screwdriver, or in my case again a pocket knife, put it in this little indent here, pull it out to as far as it'll go. Don't pull too far, you'll break it. And then just pull up and it'll just come out. I also forgot to mention you need to pull this off before anything else, or else it just won't, the door card won't come off. And that's just a couple pull tabs. You just pull on it and it'll come off. I can't do this with one hand. Hold on a second. Okay, well, I did exactly what I told you guys not to do, and I pulled too far up on it, and I pulled the I pulled the stupid fucking tab out. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. But anyways, so now that that's done, we'll just yard sale that out the way. Anyway, so now that's done, there's going to be about 5 bolts. There's going to be 2 in here, 1 on each side. Then there's going to be 1 behind the door handle. You want to pull up and get access to that. And then you got to pop this off. For some reason, forgot to fucking do it, so that's my bad. You pop this off, and there's 2 10mm bolts behind it. And it's all 10mm bolts for the door card, and it's the same on the passenger side. So okay, so now we got all that out. You just pop this off at the back here, pop it up, and then kind of pop it up and forward, and it'll come right out. So then you have 4 connections here. This one's going to be the worst one to get at because there's this little tab at the back here. You got to pull out and then pull, and then like push up or pull up, and that's how you get that one out. And the rest of these are about the same, except you just push here, here, and here. You pull it out. So this one's for, if I'm not mistaken, this one's for your mirrors, and this one is if I'm not mistaken, yeah, so that's for the windows and stuff, and then you got the child lock and everything else. So we're gonna pop these out here quick. Okay, now we got all that out. Push in your wiring harness. Sorry, it's getting a little dark out, so I gotta start using the fucking phone on the camera. So yeah, so push that wiring harness back in the door card hold there, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And then there's gonna be like push lock tabs or whatever all on the inside, and you just want to pry those up. If you have a body, if you got like a panel tool, it'll help. But if you don't, screwdriver or just your hands will work just fine. Just be careful not to pull them off too hard. Okay. Okay, so now we have the panel partially off. There is a cable back here. I don't know if you can see it. Right there that you can detach. There's two little pegs on each side. You gotta push those together and then pull it out. Well, pull it out so it's detached from the door card itself, and then pull the cable forward. And there's a little fucking like little slit that you pull the cable up to, and then it comes out. Because it's getting dark and it's getting late and I gotta work in the morning, we're gonna try and not do that. So what the plan is now, so normally when you're doing this, now you can get access to your mirror, and it's 3 10mm bolts, and that comes off pretty easy. If you're doing it yourself, it might be a bit of a clusterfuck, or at least if you do it, try to have the fucking window down. But if you're by yourself, then you know you make do. Now normally, if you're doing the truck for the first time, let's say you just bought this truck or bought this style of truck, and you want to put tow mirrors on it for whatever reason, there's usually a foam padding that goes in here that you have to take out to get access to this. But because I don't have it, I'm not gonna fucking worry about it. So moving on to our next bit. So in the wiring harness, in the for the mirror, comes all the way down and behind this guard or whatever the hell you want to call it, comes down and gets plugged into a bit which is underneath here. So this little plug is where your wiring harness will come in handy. So you plug that in as per, and then you run the existing all the way up through in down inside of the hole. There's a hole right behind this panel here. I'll show you right there. So you wheel that, or you push up, feed all the wire through the back of this, and it'll come out to here. And then you have to feed the wire through that. Normally, I would say use a hanger, a wire hanger. That would work. I thought I had one inside the house, but turns out I don't. So I'm literally going to use a zip tie. So, and for this next part, it forced myself to not be lazy and grab a screwdriver because I don't want to put a hole in the rubber here. But what you do is you take your screwdriver, and there's a section somewhere. I think it's right here. You push in on the screwdriver. You take a screwdriver, push it on it, and it should pop out somewheres. Something like that. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can do this. I can't do it with one hand. One sec. Okay, got them out. Reference when you're doing this, so you don't do what I did. On these rubber bits, on this rubber grommet door fucking hinge thing, whatever the hell you want to call it, there's two rubber squared off ends here. That's where it identifies as to where to push. So you push on the one side, it'll pop out, and just pull it out of this home. Same thing with this side. So what you're gonna do now is you're gonna try to scrunch this all up together and run your wire through with your fancy dancy zip tie, like so. So let's get that hooked up and sorted. So what I did was I tied, oh, hold on, let's get the focus going. So I tied the cable off to the zip tie, and then I cinched the zip tie down as tight as it'll go. And like I said, so I'm gonna route it through here, have it come up through back between the actual door and this piece of foam itself, and I'm gonna have it come down through the actual door itself, and then come out here. So let's do that. Okay, now we got the wire coming out up through where I said, and out through the door here. Now here comes the fun part, probably the hardest part of this install. Once you get through this, everything else, it's pretty fucking gravy from here. So yeah, let's see if I can't hopefully get a decent shot of this. Pain in the ass. So try not to do what I did, because this end being all big and bulky, it was a pain in the ass. It ended up catching on all the ribs on the on this little door grommet. I guess that's what I'll call it. Fuck it, I don't care. So yeah, so if you can try to avoid using a zip tie, it works, but it's just a pain in the ass to do it. So now that that's done, all we gotta do is fish the rest of the line, or rest of the wires, sorry, through the hole here. And that's pretty easy because it'll come out to somewhere here on the floorboard underneath the dash. So let's get after it. Okay, and just like that, she is put through. Well, let me move that phone out the way. So just like that, she is through. She's on the inside of the truck. Now, all we gotta do is put this back together and go to the other side. Now, as far as install on the passenger side, it's the exact same. The only difference is routing the wiring is a bit longer, but I'll show you when we get to it. So everything that I did here, it's the same thing, but backwards. So yeah, and do that to the other side. Okay, and just like that, the other side is also done. You got the wires coming in underneath here, and what you're gonna do with these wires is that you're gonna take them and you run them up along inside this shield, which I'm assuming is the heater core of some kind, and you run it all the way to the driver's side. So let's do that now. All right, now we got that sorted. We got the passenger. We got the passenger wiring harness right over there. Then we have our driver wiring harness right here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna splice these together, kind of like a 2-in-1 deal. Grab the access of your driver, because we're gonna cut off a chunk of that on both positive and negatives, and we're gonna run them through, excuse me, we're gonna run them through the firewall underneath the dash here, up through and through the firewall so we can get it to our fuse box. Okay, so now I know where I'm gonna cut. I'm gonna move the passenger harness out the way. Use my brand new wire strippers. Cut them as so. So we're not throwing this excess out, because like I said, this is gonna get ran up through the firewall into the engine bay. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna splice the drivers, the passengers, and these wires, and we're gonna get everything ready and wire it all up. So let's go. Okay, and just like that, they are wired together. So what I meant was, see what I mean? So this is from the driver's side, this one's to the passenger side, and this running end is going to be the part that's going through the firewall. Same thing with the negative here. Left passenger, right driver, or correction, right passenger, left driver. I'm all over the place today apparently. And then this bit is going in to the firewall. So what we're gonna do now is we have to figure out a good spot. Let me move my light here. We have to figure out a good spot to where we can run this through. Now, from what I've heard and seen in the past, a lot of guys will take this module here, or whatever it's called, and there's 2 tabs, one on each side. Oh, sorry, this is a little bit of an awkward angle for me. So there's 2 angles, one on each side, so you got one right there, and there's none on the other side. You push those 2 in, and this whole thing folds forward, like so, so you pull it towards yourself, and then there's 2 little prongs that you gotta pull up on an angle towards yourself. See right, oh, where is it? Hold on. Push the light right in here. Same thing on the other side. And do that, and then there should be a grommet behind it. So what you'll do is you'll pass the grommet, or pass the wire through the grommet, make a hole of some kind, and then have to go through the engine bay. So without further ado, let's get after it. Okay, well, it may not look like it right now, but we finally got the wiring all sorted. I ended up putting it in behind there. Don't mind the excess of wire right now. That's gonna get sorted once we get everything all hooked up here. And I'm just gonna tuck it up at the bottom base of the fucking dashboard here. But now, let's take our tools and move up to the front of the truck. Okay, finally, as you can tell, it's dark as fuck out. Okay, thing doesn't want to focus, but that's okay. There we go. Anyways, so what we're gonna do now, so right here, if I can grab them. So right here we have our wires coming out from underneath the firewall. Pull some excess out and just drape them over somewhere where they're out the way for now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pop this fuse box, and we're gonna get into it and try to figure out what fuse we need to tap into. Okay. So now there's two pins or clips. You gotta pull off. Okay, I can't obviously see anything from down here, so alright, climb up. There we go. And yeah, one right here, one right there. And then just pull this sucker off. We'll try to reach without fucking anything up. Oh, come on. There we are. Come on. Come on. There we go. Okay, so now the next part we need to find what fuse we need to tap into. So because it's a mini fuse, we need to check our mini fuse list. And where's my finger? Here we go. And we want the trailer backup. The trailer backup is number 9. So if we find number 9, it should be, as I thought, right up in here. Can't really see it that well just because of everything or whatever. So yeah, number 9 is right there. Anyway, so number 9, that's the very end, and that's number 3 down from the very far right. So in turn, if we come over here, very far right should be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That one right here. That one right there. Okay, so now we got the fuse sorted. Now all we have to do is get our out of fuse ready. So, of course, follow instructions as per. So we're gonna need, I'm gonna assume, we're just gonna say screw it, and we're gonna use a 10 amp fuse. Just be on the safe side of things. Now, I'm pretty sure how it's supposed to work is that the existing fuse for us would go in the bottom, and then the fuse for the other part would go up top. So we're gonna put our OEM fuse from the fuse box in there. We're gonna try anyways because it's been super stubborn. There we go. Make sure she's in all nice and correct like so. And then now we're gonna do the same thing with our other fuse. Take our thing, let's try to gain the light so we can get more light here. Hold on, that's a bit better. Okay, so now we're gonna try to stuff our secondary fuse in the fuse tap. There we go, like so. Untie that, and now wait for this thing to do its thing, and now we are ready for reinstallation. Okie dokie. Now that we got all that sorted, what we're gonna do is we're gonna find our positive wire, which is down in here. We'll find our positive wire, like so. We are going to figure out how much we don't need. So we're going right back in here. So I like to cut off a little have a little excess, just in case. Can't fucking hurt, I guess, eh? So we're gonna snip that. Well, try to anyways. It works if you hold the pliers properly. Snip that. So take our excess, move it off to the side. In my case, behind me on the ground. So now we're gonna take our strippers, strip off a good bit of wire. So remove the casing, and now we're just gonna twist our ends. Making sure they all look nice and pretty like. Cool. So now obviously this is not rocket science, guys. You just put your end into the butt connector. I like to fold mine in half. so they get better surface area, so when you are putting it in there, it's not completely screwed up, I guess. Hold it steady, and then just grip it. Oh. This is why having a helper is handy. Unfortunately, my helper is away right now. She won't be back till whatever day the 30th is on. Okay, so now we got that on there. We just clamp down on her as hard as we can, so she's nice and tight. Like so. Put that aside. Test our connection. Our connection is nice and tight. And now, without interfering with the other fuse tab, we're gonna put it back in, like so. And then now all we have to do is use our wire here, or use the ground wire and connect it. So in this case, you can connect to literally anything. I'm gonna find a place to ground it. Realistically, what I should have done is I should have ground it onto, should have grounded inside the cap, so it would be a lot easier, but I didn't, so whatever. Okay, friends, here's the moment of truth. All the wiring's hooked up. Now when I hit the unlock button, the reverse lights should come on, or will come on the tail lights. What I'm hoping is the back lights in the fucking side mirrors will come on too. So, without further ado, let's see. Hey, there we go. On both sides. Fuck yeah. You know what? Believe it or not, those are bright. Let me see if I can't show you from the front of the truck. Look at that. I'm actually surprised. Oh, let's turn those on again. Look at that. That'll actually help me so much in backing up the truck at night. Plus, that just looks cool as all fuck. Shit yeah, boys and girls, that's fucking gangster. Alright, there we go. Alright, so now that's all done, let's button up the truck and get everything put away. And yeah, I'm actually so fucking happy that worked out. That's awesome. And well, there you have it. That is the install on the mirrors from a 2014 to 20, I believe, 17 era mirrors on a 07 to 13 truck. It's the same thing for Chevrolet Silverados. Exact same thing, depending on what type of interior you have. They might be slightly different in the sense of where the bolt holes are as far as the door cards are concerned, but all in all, it's the same. If you like what you see, don't forget to throw a like on the video. It helps me out a bit. And if you all want to follow along on the series of the truck, please subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, and like I said before, it helps me out a bit. But like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good night, guys.